to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 31, and we'll read through chapter 2 and verse 1. I want you to notice several interesting details here. It says, "Then God saw everything that He had made." Who had made? God. Who specifically? Jesus. "Then God saw everything that He had made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth and all the host of them were" what? Finished. I want you to remember that word. Finished. Let me ask you, what day did Jesus finish His work of creation? He finished the sixth day. The word finished is used. Who did all of the work the first 6 days? Jesus did all of the work. Did human beings do any of the work? Did Adam and Eve do any of the work? Absolutely not. It says clearly, "Then God saw everything that He had made." And then it says that He finished the sixth day, saw that it was good, and His works were finished. But now we need to talk about the day after the sixth day. Let's talk about the seventh day. Go with me to Genesis chapter 2 and verses 2 and 3. Genesis chapter 2 and verses 2 and 3. And I want us to notice several interesting things in these two verses. "And on the seventh day, God ended His work which He had done. And He rested on the seventh day from all His work which He had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it He rested from all His work which God had created and made." Now here's my question. Once again, this passage tells us that who did all of the work? Jesus did all of the work. God did all of the work. It's repeated time and again. It says on the seventh day God ended His work which He had done. He rested. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it He rested from all His work which God had created and made. In other words, once again, it's repeated that the person who created everything during the first 6 days was whom? Was God, or as we read at the beginning of our presentation, Jesus Christ. But now I want you to notice another very interesting detail in this passage of Genesis 2 verses 2 and 3. Let's go once again and read the passage, and I'm going to underline two key words. It says, "And on the seventh day, God ended His work which He had done, and He rested," notice, He rested on the seventh day from all His work which He had done. And don't miss this next word. "Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it." When did God bless and sanctify the seventh day? It was after He what? After He rested. In other words, what made the Sabbath holy? The fact that God or Jesus what? Rested on the Sabbath. And in case you didn't get it from where it says, "Then, after He rested, then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it," we're told again, because in it He rested from all His work which God had created and made. In other words, Jesus did all of the work the first 6 days, and then Jesus rested the seventh day, and when the seventh day ended, Jesus blessed the seventh day, and He sanctified the seventh day. Now we need to ask the question, what did Jesus do on the seventh day? You know, for a long time, I had an enigma in my mind about the book of Genesis, particularly about the seventh day. You know, you read the story of creation and God's rest on the seventh day, and it never says in the creation story that Jesus told Adam and Eve to keep the Sabbath. And I always wondered about that. There are other places in the Bible that show that the Sabbath originally was made for man. Nevertheless, I always wondered why in the Genesis account it doesn't say God told Adam and Eve to keep the Sabbath. Now, I want you to put that enigma on hold because we're going to come back to it. I want to go to another verse now that corroborates the idea that we just noted in Genesis, where it says that Jesus rested, or God rested, and after He rested the whole day, then He blessed and sanctified the day.